Okay, so here we go. We got the Pine Ridge Archery Wishbone string and cable silencers here. So these work really well. Obviously, you don't use them all the time for like target and stuff like that. But for hunting, these things are great. They really quiet the bow down. They're affordable. They do come in a variety of different colors if you want to color match your other accessories and that sort of thing. But they can be a little bit tricky to get installed. So there's a couple good videos on the Pine Ridge Archery website that give some good tips, but I'm going to give you a quick tip here that may help you out with these a little bit, maybe make it go a little bit smoother for you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and install a couple of these. For full disclosure, these have been on this bow. This was on my hunting rig for this year. So they are stretched out a little, which definitely does help. And you have to be careful, and this is also on the Pine Ridge video, but you can stretch these out, kind of pre-stretch them a little. You don't want to break them or, wear them out. But putting a little bit of stretch in here will help. But the main thing we got going on here is you can pull these through, the wishbone through with the pliers, but sometimes it'll rip off the wishbone itself. So one thing I found that helps is to use wax. Okay, this is wax from burnishing strings. So this is stuff that BCY has sprayed on there, and it is a little bit slick, but as you work with it, it's kind of sticky. So, and you could use something like this, Textite or something that has a tackiness to it. You wouldn't want to use anything that has a synthetic or like a lubricating property to it, because that's just going to make it worse. But what this does, it gives you a little bit better grip when you go to put the wishbone through. Okay, so you get the ears here, you wrap it around, and it gives you the ability to hold on to it and pull them through there easier. See how, I can grip that. It's a lot easier than if your hand's all sweaty and whatnot. Allows you to kind of get a better grip on the whole situation here and slip them on there, and it gives you less of a chance of damaging them. And if you have like pliers. Another thing that may help is a golf tee here. It might help flip that around, because you have to get it over that lip here to get it installed properly. So there, that one's on. Okay, so the tackiness of the wax definitely helps. And burnishing peels off these big pieces of this wax when you're building strings, but I realize that not everybody may have that, and that is my favorite, the stuff that comes off of the the factory stuff from the strings. But any kind of tacky wax will help. Okay, so let's go ahead and put another one on here, and this is about where I would have them again, and I'll just pre-stretch it, even though it's been on there, which that does make it easier. Obviously it's been on the bow for a little while. It went through hunting season, so you don't want to get too crazy with that again, because you don't want to break these. They will break. They're fairly durable, but if you stretch them too much, it's not going to work out for you. So again, around, and we got a little bit of tackiness on our fingers, which definitely helps. This is one of the trickier parts, is getting them pulled through, but again, it's sticky with that wax, so it makes it a lot easier. So get it that far. The golf tee go. We use the tee to help us a little bit. and that makes it really work pretty good. Okay, so for removal here, this is just a golf tee, just, you know, nothing special here, but it's very helpful in getting that wishbone started, getting the loop here started to pull through. It makes it a lot easier to remove it. And again, we're going to use a wax. This is just a bowstring wax. Now you wouldn't want to use a wax that has like a silicone in it or a lubricating property. It's just going to make it all that much slicker. But if you use something like this, it's kind of tacky. My favorite is to use the wax that's on strings. When you burnish a string, it pulls off all that sticky wax that comes from the factory, and it really helps you get a good grip. But if you don't have that, which, you know, unless you're a string builder or working with string material, you may not, you can use a wax like this or probably anything else that's kind of sticky, but it gives you a little bit of extra grip, the same as when you get to put them on. So let's go ahead and remove this one and get behind it here gently, and you don't want to poke this through real aggressively, but that's going to give you just enough slack to kind of get it started off of there. Makes it a little bit simpler for you. So they do work good, but they're not the easiest thing in the world to get on and off of there, and can tear them if you're not careful, and then it's kind of ruined if you tear the wishbone off of it. So keep working it out of there. And once they get on there, they're still on there pretty good. So, and you want the bow to lay down and pretty flat, obviously. So there's that one. And if these do fail, usually I've seen one or two things happen with them. You can pull these off, trying to put them on, but sometimes they'll break here. These look pretty good, so I'll probably put them back on for next year. But I'm getting ready to store this bow. This is my hunting bow, so it'll be put away for now and move to Target. But yeah, they will tear sometimes right in there, and that of course puts them out of commission too. So let's go ahead and remove this last one. I'll have a look at it. A bit of wax again, just to kind of give me some grip. And it really helps when you're putting them on to have a little bit of extra grip. So golf tee up under the loop here. And just kind of work it around. Push through. And I'll pop it right off of there. Okay, so just again, be careful. This shouldn't damage your string, but it has potential to if you're not careful. So don't get too crazy with it, but just slip it through there like that, through the loop, and that's going to help that pop that wishbone right off of there. And it should extend the life of these. Store them like you would your bow in a cool, dry place. If you're not going to use them until the next hunting season. I mean, there's nothing wrong with leaving them on there, but let's get you a little more life out of them. So let's just go ahead and put one on the cable here, and I think that'll give us the idea. Now, if it's warm, right now it's winter time, but if it's warm out, you can start sweating and fighting with these things. You'll really be glad that you have some kind of way to grip them a little bit better. So again, we'll just do this. Mostly this is symbolic, but because these are already stretched out pretty good. So, and it definitely does make that easier. But when they're brand new, you can stretch them out a little bit, and that'll help too. So one more time. Let's go around this way. Put the wishbone through. Okay, there we see got these little, I guess, ears. They kind of look like antennas, but, and then I can grip it. I don't have a tool. This one's just going to pop on there even without the tee, but you could use golf tee. You don't want that real sharp, but they're kind of blunt. Anyway, so there you go. That makes getting those on there a lot easier, and you want to kind of stay down here with it. These will pull off. They're fairly tough, but again, if you're grabbing onto them, you can get away with it sometimes with needle nose, but just because it's a sharp metal tool and these are like a rubber, you would have a higher chance of pulling part of your silencer off, which is going to reduce the performance of it, and you're probably not going to like the way that looks. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys out. I know we're a little ways from hunting season, but it'll be hopefully something that'll come in handy for you when you go to put these on and off. All right, take care.